Yo, what's up, it's BenMG Scully knocking out a new video for you guys today. Today I have a big announcement. My next fight is on June the 3rd, 2021, and you can expect it to be out maybe by midday on June the 4th, on the Friday. My opponent is going to be Sam Burnham. You may not know who that is. People who do know me in real life, they may know who that is, but yeah, he's someone who likes the sport of boxing, but hasn't had a great deal of training in it, and wants to know if doing something like this, jumping in the deep end, and sparring someone who's had some experience. Even though I'm lighter than him, obviously I have the advantage then of height, reach, and experience. He has the advantage then of power, and he wants to know that if he can hold his own against me, and if he can obviously win the fight against me, he wants to know if he should take up the sport for real. And yeah, this is where the spar came from. He's the one that challenged me in the lead up to my spar with Mark Boswell, and he watched that, and beforehand he said he wanted to fight the winner. So I said, sure, if I win, I'll fight you, and if Mark wins, then ask Mark. And Mark said he was open to it as well. And Sam was put in a bit of a funny situation because neither of us won. It became a draw. And I said, well, who would you rather want to fight? And he's known me for a bit longer, and he said he'd rather fight me, which is really good because there's another fight coming up not long after my fight with Sam Burnham that I think you guys would be interested in. It's not announced as of yet, but probably not long after this video, a fight that doesn't include me, but I'll definitely be promoting, is going to be taking place a couple of weeks after that, and I hope I'm pretty sure you guys will be very excited for that fight. And I'll be having another fight maybe a couple of weeks after I fight Sam as well. So Sam Burnham is the opponent on June 3rd, and if I win that fight and I hopefully look good doing it, I'll have another opponent lined up for a few weeks after that as well for you guys. And this fight with Sam is going to be slightly different. The terms are that, unlike my fight with Mark, where we didn't have head guards and we had slightly different size gloves, because of the experience difference between me and Sam, I wanted to give him some kind of edge to even it out. Even though he's I don't know how heavy he is, but my guess is that he's 11 stone. By the time I fight him, I'll probably be about 9 stone 10, as a guess, 9 stone 10, let's say. And so he's going to have a good weight advantage, at least 15 pounds. And yeah, I just because of that power difference, I wanted him to have some kind of advantage to make it so my advantages in height, reach, and skill aren't the only differences between us. He has some kind of advantage in itself, and I also gave him another advantage in that he has the choice to wear a head guard, and he accepted, so he will wear a head guard, I won't, but we'll both be having 12-ounce gloves. So when I fought Mark, because Mark was heavier than me, I gave him 16-ounce gloves, and I had 12s, and we didn't have head guards. But this time, I guess I'm at more risk now, because Sam has lighter gloves than Mark did, and even though I have the same size gloves against Sam as I did with Mark, Sam now has a head guard, so it's going to be a little bit harder for me in that sense to do damage on Sam. But another difference in the fight is that the fight with Sam is going to be shorter. It's going to be 6 3-minute rounds, because I've noticed with the fight with Mark, I look like I had a very lackluster performance in that fight for as long as it lasted, mainly because it was meant to go 10 rounds, but after 5 rounds we had to call it off, and that during that part of the fight I was saving my energy for the later rounds to take the lead in the later stages. and also because Mark was pretty tricky to get near because he had a really good right hand. And I was trying to make adjustments and trying to save my energy, but you know, that was meant to be my less active phase of the fight, and obviously I got unlucky, and you know, the fight had to get called off and everything. But nonetheless, we've made this fight shorter because of the way how lackluster I was in the fight with Mark. I've shortened the amount of time I'm fighting so that the pace is increased, but it's not us blasting each other non-stop because we have to save our energy at least somewhat. 60-minute rounds is what it's like what Anthony Joshua was fighting early in his career. A lot of prospects fight that long in their career. KSI versus Logan Paul, that fight was scheduled for that long. And a lot of the YouTube fights until I think Jake Paul versus Ben Askren was scheduled for 6 rounds. And it's a good amount of time to train. It takes a lot of time to train for, and yeah, it's gonna be hard. 6 rounds is 18 minutes of fighting with only 5 minutes of break. So during 23 minutes, you're boxing for 18 minutes of that, and because of the shortened amount of time now as well, it's probably gonna be a faster pace. In 5 rounds, Mark threw 200 shots. If we were only scheduled for 6 rounds against Mark, I'm pretty sure Mark would have thrown more because he wouldn't have been saving his energy for more rounds. So you can expect a more exciting fight. It's gonna look kind of similar in terms of aesthetically. It is gonna be in a field, not the same field I was in with Mark, because some people who know me may have recognized it and may expect my fight with Sam to be in the same place. So I don't want crowds. Because of the current pandemic and the fact that even though this fight is consensual, because there's no like written contract and written agreements, we don't want any interference by anybody trying to sabotage the fight or people thinking that there's assault going on. So yeah, we're doing it, I would say behind closed doors. We're out in public, but we're doing it in a kind of not isolated location, but a place where it's not busy. 3rd of June, Thursday, that's the time the fight's going to happen, but you can expect a video around noon on June 4th, so mark it on your calendars, turn notifications on the channel, make sure to like the video and subscribe, and keep a listen out for this fight, and keep a listen out for the next fights going forward in the future in the next few weeks. There's one, like I said, there's one going on a few weeks after my fight with Sam that doesn't involve me that you guys will really be interested in, and after a couple of weeks of my fight with Sam, if I win or if I look good at the very least, I may have another fight offer in the works there as well. So keep a listen out. Like I said, mark it on your calendars, and yeah, keep a listen out. And I'm Ben MG Scully, and I'm out.